that they sold, but he has a whole world set up. So you might be driving and see like a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember you talking about the hospital.
But it ain't real.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
You might be driving and see the White House. Like,
okay.
Up on the hill, it's a full replica
he's
of
creating
the White
that
House.
aesthetic, that way he doesn't have to go outside to go
apartment complexes, several neighborhoods that look like real neighborhoods, streets and everything, like nightclubs, churches. Okay. There's literally a big yacht
out there just strictly for taking.
Yeah, that sits in this thing that they put water in. They put the green screen up behind it, so it's literally a boat sitting in some water. It's crazy out there, man. It's nuts. And then they have all of this lodging for crew, cast. They have these trailer things set up, so when you in quarantine, you in this little trailer, and then when you clear quarantine, they move you to the house. It's nuts, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. I always want to hear somebody's perspective from a mainstream perspective about actually being on set, because I'm not sure how they do it in LA. Pretty sure it's the same thing.
Well, you mean as far as being in a bubble now?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of productions are shooting on location, but the productions that are shooting on the studio lots, it's difficult to do a bubble, right? Tyler Perry has a unique situation.
Yeah. Very
once
difficult.
You come on that lot, you couldn't leave. So once we came on Tyler Perry Studios lot, you pull into, like, because I drove, but they wanted to come get me. They wanted to come send a car to my house to get me. And I was like, nah, because my thinking was, when I'm ready to leave, I don't want to wait for y'all.
Exactly.
I want to go.
Exactly.
But you pull in, they get all your stuff out your car, they wipe your car down, spray your car down, you go straight to COVID testing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like in the lot. They COVID test you, and then you go from there, they give you all your stuff. They gave you like toiletries and everything, and then they take you straight to quarantine. Bomb. And you can't leave. But I can imagine on these studio lots in LA where they don't have that kind of lodging to accommodate everybody. So even if they have you in a hotel, you still are around people who are not quarantined.
Exactly.
Whereas Tyler Perry, everybody was quarantined. Nobody could leave. Even the extras had to stay.
That's crazy. Well, that makes sense though.
Everybody on set.
Everybody had to stay. So if you were extra,
you stuck.
Yeah.
You there all the whole time.
You there the whole time. And I don't know how much they were making, but they couldn't have been making that much.
Yeah.
To be stuck there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were paying. Cause
Yeah, in this situation, yeah.
Listen, to be there for,
those amount of days.
14, cause when, I don't know if you've done this where they have you on hold.
Yeah.
So they held us from December 6th to December 23rd. That's what we had. That was our contract. Mm-hmm. So they got to pay you for all of them days.
Yeah.
Right? And let's just put it this way. I wasn't getting scale. I was getting above scale.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know if y'all know, scale is like $11.53 a day. $1,153 a day.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, they weren't paying scale; they was paying above.
For your talent and
for your time, they paying you for
time and experience.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Christian Keys, who they produced it, and it was a great opportunity. I wasn't their first choice, but I got it. Yes, so it was a good look.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope. So. Obviously, it's probably one of the top sets working on, but what are some other sets that you kind of like working on?
I'll tell you, and I've always had fun working for different reasons. Like I said, I work with Charles Dutton. Charles Dutton, and I played him and Loretta Devine's brother. Can you imagine the fun we had on that set? Like, Palmer Williams was my brother. E. Raj Mitchell was my other brother. Like. I'm around all these people who I've watched for years, and yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Obviously, working with Forrest Whitaker was crazy. Like, Chris Brancato. Shout out to Chris Brancato and Paul Eckstein, who were the showrunners for Godfather of Harlem, the writers. Chris Brancato wrote Narcos too. So shout out to them. To be, handpicked and to have, Forrest Whitaker as, the producer. Il Finesse, who played his wife on the show, so beautiful and just so nice. That set was really fun to work on. So everywhere I've worked has been fun. But I'll say this. American Soul was probably the most comfortable I've ever been on a set because, again, all of my scenes were with number one on the call sheet, Sinqua Walls, who played 50's son on Power. Right? Okay. He plays Don Cornelius on this show. He's number one on the call sheet. Him and my other brother, Jason Durden. Gotcha. They just didn't act like stars, man. They was always,
what's up, man?
Real organic.
Real organic.
It was like
definitely
they weren't stars, even though they're stars, And they to this day they'll hit me up, It's like that's the most comfortable I've been. So I'll say that was
probably one of your favorite sets to work on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it because it's always everything. That's not that there's anything wrong with other sets. It's just you just know that one is like if they call me back, I'm gonna be back.
Right.
I'm going back.
Well, if anyone call me back, I'm going.
Right. We're not gonna turn down no money.
Something's like, ooh.
Yeah, and but to your point, I like the money. I like the money, but at my age it ain't about necessarily the money no more because I ain't hurting for the money. Right, for now, for me, it's the experience because I had never worked on Tyler Perry Studios for Tyler Perry. I thought this was a Tyler Perry production. It turned out not to be, because we shot American Soul on Tyler Perry Studios at Greenbrier. So I had worked on the Tyler Perry lot before, but I hadn't worked for Tyler Perry. So I thought this was going to be a Tyler Perry thing. I thought, turned out not to be. But that was one of the main reasons I took it.
Right, because
at this time of the year, I was like,
might as well.
Well, no, I was actually thinking December 6th, December 23rd in the bubble. I don't know if I want to, gone like
that long at the end of the year.
Yeah,
right.
Even though I see what y'all gonna pay me, it looks good.
Right, but still, it's not about it's about the experience.
Right, but it was a Tyler Perry thing, so I said, let me go because this will be an opportunity to work with Tyler Perry. Blah blah blah. I didn't get to do that because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Right. So now I'm doing it more for the experience than necessarily for the paycheck. I had a conversation with somebody on set about your corporation, your loan out corporation that they pay when you work. Okay. Because like many other actors in this city, I have a job. I have a regular job. Right. So if you mess around and make $30,000-$40,000 on top of your job, you gonna get jammed up on taxes.
Right, taxes they coming for they coming for your head.
Right, so that's a consideration too.
Right,
because I don't just have a job; I have a career kind of job.
Right.
So it's like if you telling me come to set, we gonna pay you $35,000. I gotta think about that. Like, okay.
Right,
manage
how to manage this, right? Because you're going to have to pay,
right?
And then, like you said, that's in conjunction with what you're already doing,
right? So it's not necessarily about the money because I have a situation right now, and I know nothing is permanent, right? Anything could be gone, but
of course,
I have to think about that. Like, okay, you're gonna pay me this amount, but we want that money. We want them series regular jobs. We want them jobs where you making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. $100,000 an episode, but do you know what you're gonna do with that money.
Yeah.
Because
That's
we all
the key.
have heard the horror stories about artists who get jammed up by the IRS, who file for bankruptcy, they go broke.
All the time.
But they have this huge tax bill. So we don't seem to think about that. And I'm not putting it all on young black artists. I'm putting it on all young artists and artists in general. We want the money, but we don't know what we're going to do with it. So when you said that about the paycheck, I always think about that. I say, all right, yeah, the paycheck is going to be nice.
Right.
But I always try to have a plan of what I'm going to do with that paycheck.
Right. Because that's important, because you still have a practical life to live, you know?
You don't want it to fall to your bottom line. And
Exactly.
You're going,
Right.
hey, I made that much money?
And you just filter through it.
I owe that much in taxes? Hold up. You know, I don't have no
Right.
kids I can claim no more. My kids grown. I can't. You know, so.
That's definitely, it's good, something to think about because, yeah, the taxes is real.
Taxes is real, man.
It's real.
So, and I know, like, y'all are businessmen. Y'all, you know, have an idea of, you know, setting up a corporate vehicle and understanding how to, you know, avoid the tax bill, you know.
You can.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing.
But we have to do that.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Our president showed us.
You got to finesse.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at him.
I have a banker, homie. He said he has people who make 100,000, and he works for a very prestigious bank that get returns, and they know what to do. And I say, nah.
Oh,
He said,
you know there are Fortune
all the
500
time.
companies that get tax returns.
Right.
You know that, right?
And we seen that with what was that? Amazon.
Amazon, AT&T,
Yeah.
Delta, Coca-Cola.
But as you said, you go and you going for the experience. You know, you make what you make, but you can't do that. But that's what we at though.
Man,
You know.
I get a tax return every year. I don't know. I
Finesse.
find a way.
Hey, it's all about finesse. You know, they don't care. Why should we? Hey, it is what it is.
I care because you know when I get my check, they take taxes out.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
So you want?
But I ain't getting ready to get all the way to the end and pay you again. That
Nah,
don't make
we're not
sense.
gonna do that.
So
and that's what I'm saying. Right, we're not. Yeah, we're not gonna double dip.
That's the game.
Yeah,
And
that's
we
the
have to
game.
find a way to do
I
that.
try to do mine quarterly.
So you pay taxes quarterly.
Yeah, cause
Interesting.
man.
But see, we talking about income from a job. So yeah, I understand what you're saying there because I have a job and I can't move that money around enough to not pay taxes on
See,
it.
I'm 1099, so everything I'm paying. So I have to make sure to where they don't hit me with the, you gotta pay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta pay about $15,000. Oh okay, nah, I don't want to do that. So what I
Right.
do is I try to break it down
Pay
and then,
quarterly.
yeah.
Yeah, and as 1099, you have other options too to avoid that taxation that we're talking about.
And that's what it's for. You know.
For sure.
But
For
most
sure.
since you're here, what are some of your top 5 movies that you could just? It doesn't have to be from now, back then. Doesn't matter.
Definitely, Godfather
Gotcha.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Menace to Society.
Oh yeah.
You know, I had this list together. Now I can't think. You put me on the spot. But Godfather 2, Menace to Society are definitely in my top 5. Sugar Hill.
Gotcha.
Sugar Hill is,
It's a good movie, man.
I mean, you know what you gonna do.
I gotta go back and watch all those. I wanted those.
Let's see. I actually really like. Dang it! Now I can't think of the name. Getting old sucks. What's the movie with Denzel? King Kong. Ain't got nothing
Training
on
Day.
it?
Training Day. Not right. Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
that's my top 5, but that came to mind right now.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard
It's
because
one of
you
those
see a movie,
ones.
you're like, oh, I really can watch
Yeah.
the movie, and so
Right, movies that I would watch just over and over
Right.
again. I just watched Godfather 2 the other day.
Right.
I'll watch that movie every week.
Training Day is one of those movies,
Yeah.
though. I've seen that.
Training
That's one
Day?
of the movies.
What's your top 5?